So we describe WeChat as a social communication platform, and the slight difference in the naming is very specifically chosen. So as a communications platform instead of a networking platform. And I think the real reason for that is at the core it's an instant messaging product, but it has very wide range of features that work alongside the instant messaging components of the product. So for example, it has its own social feed, and I guess the reason that we describe it as a social communications platform is there are some fundamental differences. For example, that social feed is designed to be private at the outset, so it's never something that's visible or available on the web.
So you don't have a public timeline like you would in Facebook?
No public timeline, no.
Yeah.
And then of course the other major difference, I guess, to the other platforms out there is this is a mobile only product. There is no web version of it, although we have a kind of web client that you can run your user session in, but there's no web view of your timeline, for example.
And your task is to get WeChat extremely well used in Africa.
Yes.
What are the countries you're focusing on, and what's the scale of it, if you can give me some sense of it without giving numbers necessarily?
So in the short term we're focusing on South Africa and Nigeria, and then we'll follow on with the other countries that have strong smartphone penetration. So in terms of scale, I unfortunately can't give specific numbers, but we're in the multiple millions of users, and I think the one thing that's really exciting is that we're in this category of product, the second largest one on earth, and we're catching the biggest one. So our most recent global user number that was which was announced I think a week or so ago was 396 million monthly active users, so it's a significant platform.
And with a significant rise in one of the big emerging markets, India.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. You're also using the platform in a sense to do media with the platform. And we talked earlier about a couple of examples. Take the first one, the radio example.
So we've partnered up with one of the biggest radio personalities in South Africa, Gareth Cliff, with his new venture called Cliff Central. And it's pretty exciting.
Gareth is a sort of shock jock, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yeah. Yes. So he does go for the controversial approach to entertainment, which is quite interesting. But what we've seen that's really beneficial to us in terms of the partnership that we've built with him is it helps people to understand what WeChat really is that and that it is a platform. It's quite a difficult thing to explain that there's a platform that has a specific ability to actually plug into almost any type of content. And so the way we've been trying to describe what the platform is it's kind of the bridge between the mobile app and mobile web world, which is really powerful when you think about it. I mean, if you can kind of attach the benefit of social sharing, instant messaging, location services and so on and directly to your media, which is web-based, that's an incredibly powerful thing. So
how many followers does he have?
So we launched with Cliff Central on the 1st of May, so we're 3 weeks in now, and I think, if I remember the numbers from this morning, we should just be on 90,000 followers now. So 90,000 in the first 3 weeks, and we have very high levels of active engagement with that user base, so that's quite exciting. Pretty good growth.
So it's almost an alternative channel to radio, isn't it?
Yeah, he positions it as unradio. So what we're trying to do is, alongside the normal broadcast radio style content that they're putting out, we're putting a rich media content alongside it, which actually augments the radio experience. It's kind of strange to think about, but it's almost a kind of second screen experience for radio.
Okay, it's the offcuts, as it were.
And also, photos of what's going on in studio, and they have daily polls that they put out, so we have a real-time polling engine that we've built. Listeners can put comments into the official account, which goes directly into studio, and they can engage directly with Gareth and his team in that way. So, and we'll flesh it out, and we'll continue building on that and enhancing the experience. The whole idea for us is to make it as comprehensive and entertaining as possible.
And you've done something which is much more second screen with Big Brother.
Yes. So with Big Brother Mzans, which is the South African version of Big Brother, which ran the first couple of months of the year, we had major success with that. So we built a full second screen experience where you could, in the official account, view housemate profiles, you could vote, you could participate in polls, you could send a message to screen which ended up scrolling along on the actual television screen while the live show was on. And what we found is by the end of it we had higher engagement levels than any of the other platforms that have traditionally been used by Big Brother for this type of engagement. And I think the reason we had such high levels of engagement is we have a complete encapsulated experience in one place, which is pretty powerful.
So what's coming up? What should we be looking out for in the next 6 to 9 months?
So our real focus is continuing with projects like Big Brother and Cliff Central. They may not necessarily be media focused. We're also starting to work with retail partners. And the idea there is to help the general public out there understand what type of experiences can actually be delivered on the platform. So that's 100% our focus.
So what sorts of things have you got planned for Nigeria?
So in Nigeria, we're a little bit less advanced in terms of how we are rolling out our product. So we're in the brand building phase there. So very much a media push. We're working with radio stations and television and other kind of marketing activities going on in Nigeria at the moment.